Hey everybody, this is Fran Fraschella, draft expert and basketball junkie. To everybody who's watching, let's get our friends at General Manager Games the subscribers they deserve. Just press that red subscriber button and immerse yourself in sports AI through GM Games content. And on Twitter, it's GM_games. Let's get after it. Let's go.
We are still anxiously awaiting college basketball 2021, but since it hasn't dropped yet, all that really means is I've got a little bit more time to try and chase down this title for you guys in my Journeyman save here. Year 25, I think, with the Louisville Cardinals now. Obviously, I've only been with Louisville for a portion of that time. We had a number of years with other teams. Let's see if I can get into chat here. Let's see. I'm going to work on getting into chat. But for the moment, let's take a look around here. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I streamed this league. A couple of weeks ago, I did some stuff for the pro game on a different Twitch stream. And then this past week, the entire family was sick, so I didn't get a chance to stream anything. So I thought I'd bring you all a little bit of Saturday action, especially since, we do have a lot of people, overseas in different time zones, that sort of thing. So I know the last couple of times that I was able to do a stream on a different day at a different time, that sort of thing, people enjoyed that. So here we go again on Saturday afternoon. All right, so this is the roster. In case you're just catching up, there's a lot of stars out here, guys. There's a lot of stars. Only one scholarship has 2 stars. This is a freshman. I just brought him in. He was actually a 5-star recruit, top 20 kind of guy, and I believe that he had a fairly good camp. So not sure if this is just a weird rating or what, but if you take a look here at the depth chart, I let the AI set this up, and they're still letting Lamont Mapp run the point guard. And he's a pretty good passer, pretty good handler, that sort of thing. So I think I'm all right with that. They've also got the freshman Hendrick in here at the shooting guard. And if you take a look at the roster, it's going to be pretty evident as to why they've got Hendrick in there. Dude's a scorer. He's got a nice jumper, and he's a 9 for scoring. Not only that, Lamont Mapp's also very highly rated there. Both White and Porter at the 3 are very good scorers. Also, all these guys pretty good defensively, along with the freshman Hampton, who's not only an 8 at scoring, but also 10 on the inside. Pretty solid rebounder, and also another good defender. So, a lot going on for us here with this team. And, again, just a quick look at the depth chart. So we got Mapp, Hendrick, Porter, John Carter, and Davey Hampton as the starters. They're playing White as the backup to the 3 as well as the 2. But they're also sticking Greenleaf in there a little bit. I think I'm actually going to rearrange that so we can let White play it there. And like so. Hold on. That doesn't make much sense. Let's do that. And then we can let him be the small forward here. And even there. All right, so I like that balance of minutes a lot better. Move Marshall up a little. All right, cool. We're all set there. Recruiting-wise, we got 2 scholarships available. One of them is certainly going to a point guard. Yeah, Chris, this is the year. Gotta be, right? I mean, I'm running out of years for it to be the year, so pretty much gotta be now or never, I think. But anyway, we got 2 scholarships. One of them certainly going to be a point guard if I can pull that off, because we've been running a non-point guard out there quite a bit. The other one might be a 3. We are losing our senior this year. I believe that's actually White, not Porter. D'Antonio White's a senior. Yeah, the stream element's slow. What's up, Stanley Rosella? How's it going, buddy? Glad to have you by for the stream. So yeah, we are losing White. We'll still have Porter and Howard, theoretically, if they both stick around. So we really need a replacement there. But then I also worry John Carter could always go pro. Davey Hampton is certainly a threat to go pro. We would still have Marshall. That would be all right. We should still have Barron, theoretically. But once you got a team this loaded, any of them could go pro early. These guys could get unhappy about minutes, and they could transfer. So, there's really no telling with these guys. We only have 2 scholarships. That's a shame, but I want to mix it out just in case we lose the whole team next year. We want point guard and then probably a 3, maybe a big man. We'll see. But we are on to July 4th. I don't think I got any recruiting set up on this. No, here's our call watch list. All positions, all regions, and nothing. So, I must have accidentally advanced at some point when I didn't necessarily intend to, but I don't have anything set up yet. Yeah, don't worry, Stanley. We're always coming back with Draft Day Sports College Basketball, buddy. As we approach the 2021, we're getting amped up for it, right? But anyway, let's get our call list set up here. All regions, point guards, full recruit list. And we absolutely have to have a point guard. Well, I mean, we don't have to, but I would prefer to. So, usually I go 10 here. I'll go a little bit heavier on it. We'll also throw in Gibbs. He's got a good GPA. He'll be fine. Wait, this is all the point guards available? Look at how bad. There are no top-tier point guards in this class. There's only one 5-star point guard. That's shocking. Ooh, out of the country, Argentina. I think we'll pass on that. We'll throw in Poland. He's got the initial interest, so I'm not worried about him qualifying. 1.8, he's never qualifying. 3.0 should be fine. All right, so we got every 4-star point guard and the 1 5-star. We might as well throw some shooting guards in here because we're certainly taking a guard, and if we don't land a point guard, we can, as you can see with what Lamont Map's doing, we can always try to supplement that with a shooting guard, and there are a handful of very solid shooting guard options. So, that'll be fine. I'm not overly worried about that position, so 7 on the list is going to be good to go. Check out the small forward, see what we got going on over here. All right, a little bit of talent here as well. Aaron Gurley, quite the scorer, quite the rebounder. Nice steals per game. Interesting prospect there. And let's see what we got as far as big men go. We already got a handful of power forwards. If I go big man, I'm probably not going for. But then again, if the right, this is the number 1 guy in the country, scoring 31 a game, 15 rebounds a game. So, you get a guy like that, and it sort of changes your plan, right? So we'll see. He is pipeline 5-star. The 2.5, being in my region and not having interest, all that really scares me as far as qualifying goes. So I'm going to lay off of him, especially since, if power forward was some kind of drastic need, I might give it a shot. What's up, Breeze? Glad to have you, buddy. It's not a Draft Day Sports stream without Breeze around, so glad you're here. I feel official now. All right, so we'll throw a couple of centers on the list. That feels about right. All right, so let's get on the call watch list. Chris wants to take another quick look at the roster. So, we've got Greenleaf and Bond as our sophomore point guards. They're pretty talented, but the AI actually doesn't have either of them starting. The AI is starting Lamont Map at the point guard. Larry Hendrick, the freshman, all-world scorer. He's going to be solid as could be. We're pretty heavy at the 3. We got Porter actually as the starter. D'Antonio White is going to be the backup at the 3 as well as the 2. And then John Carter, the starting power forward. Davey Hampton, the freshman, is going to be our starting center. And then they'll be supported by Chris Marshall and Clifford Barron. Yeah, I'm definitely getting College Basketball 21 as soon as it hits early access. Like, the instant that thing's available, I'm jumping all over it. 100% breeze. All right, so that's the roster. I can show the depth chart one more quick time, Chris, or for anybody else that's just now getting in here. So Mapp, Hendrick, Porter, Carter, and Hampton, the starters. And then White, Bond, Howard, Marshall. Oh, they've actually got Howard as the backup at the power forward. That's interesting. We'll see. If we need to change that, we can. If we need to get Clifford Barron into that role. Or even let Marshall cover both positions. It's not like he's only playing 6 minutes a game, and we know he's solid. He was good last year. So that's what we've got. Let's get these visits set up, see where we want to go as far as getting these offers out. And then I want to try to get through the entire year, this season, see if we can finally grab that title that's been eluding us for far, far, far too long. So get our visits, get our live scouting, get some film on these folks. Get a little bit of phone call action going. Not in the mix with Mason. All right. It's not a problem. Where's the... Oh, right, the point guard. The point guard talent is pathetic in this class. So here's the top point guard in the class, all the way down here, Brad Jackson. But we're going to have to probably make him a bit of a priority if we want to bring in a point guard. So, I mean, both the point guards on my roster are only sophomores, but neither of them are getting a lot of playing time, and they're both pretty highly recruited. So either or both of them could certainly transfer out in the offseason. And I'd prefer not to ever be without a point guard. So I'm going to try to bring one in. Let's get through the Vegas camp, and then we can check out both camps. Oh, Peyton Siva, the cover athlete. Peyton Siva's my boy. That's awesome, man. Peyton Siva was a really, really fun player to watch at Louisville. So Gurley is actually the top performer in the field at the 3 position, along with John Mason, Pat Bartow, Nia Rainey, and Malone Wright. Okay, let's see how Jackson did. He was top 5 at Vegas, top 10 at Indy. So, yeah, solid option there at the point. And then Gurley is definitely a good-looking option at the small forward position. All right, go ahead and advance this because those visits and everything that I set up were for this simulation. And let's see how it goes. Enjoyed it. Gurley had an awesome time. Mason was all right. Sim these camps. And then we'll go through and get another week worth of visits and everything set up. I'm interested to see if Gurley attended the Houston camp. A lot of times those top players don't. Nah. Nope. All right, let's see here. All right, he's already come in for a visit. Let's get Brad Jackson on the visit. Thank you. Shooting guard Malone Wright. Oh, I tried to add him to the list after he's already on him. And Bartow was another guy that was up there. So let's go and watch Gurley, Bartow, and Jackson. We'll go scout all them live. I'm not going to worry too much about film on the rest of these guys. Gurley, I'm going to unlock his pitches. Then I'm going to unlock Jackson's pitches. And then we're going to get to sim him because I do want to get into some games as soon as possible here. Recruiting is all right, but everybody's seen me do it like 25 times now, so I'm sure that there's not a whole lot of secrets left. The only reason I'm not offering these guys yet is I want to give it a couple of weeks, see if we get some notes on these guys. I want to make sure that my coaches aren't telling me like they're, horrible work ethic or anything. Actually, with this guy, work ethic, even even if he was disruptive and whatnot, he's a one-and-done kind of guy. So we can go ahead and offer Gurley. Jackson I would hope to have around for a while. So I want to make sure he doesn't have like bad work ethic or disruptive force or anything like that. So we're going to give it a couple of weeks on him, just to see if we can generate some coach notes. See how those visits went. Bartow enjoyed it. Wright enjoyed it. Jackson, okay. So no awesome visits or anything, but we're all good. But it is interesting. The only one that had the awesome visit was Gurley, who's basically, like, along with Mason, the top prospects in the country. Look at Singletary with the rebounds. Holy cow, I didn't even see that. 21 rebounds a game? Wow. How'd he do? Top 25 at Indy? All right. Interesting. You know what? We'll just go ahead and advance a couple weeks. See if we got any kind of notes, and then throw the offer out to Jackson unless something goes horribly wrong. Get through these summer camps. Get through some recruiting action. Make sure we can go ahead and just get everybody in for a host. Oop, host. Thank you. Go scout live, and scout live. All right, cool. To the chat. Chris out here welcoming people to the chat. Appreciate it. Yeah, Final Four, Bust, you're 100% right. If we don't make the Final Four with this roster, it would be an absolute joke. I mean, it's certainly possible. You can always get upset. You never know what happens injury-wise, but this is a solid roster, top to bottom. They've got point guards. They've got inside guys. They've got depth. So certainly should compete for a Final Four and should compete for a national championship. Absolutely, 100%. So we'll see how it goes. The past couple of years we've been in this position. We've had a lot of returning talent, guys that I really thought would go pro, and they just keep coming back, and I'm all good with that. But eventually we gotta hang a title. I think hang a championship banner, grab a title, whatever. There's the awesome times. Look at all these guys. Steve Bond nominated for the Norton Award. This dude isn't even playing at all. I mean, he might be backing up for like 8 minutes. Steve Bond, where's he at? Yeah, he's a backup, playing 8 minutes a game, nominated for the Norton. We've got talent on this team. Carter, White, another backup, Matt, Porter, all these guys up here for the Norton, but Porter leading the way at number 6. The one I'm really shocked not to see actually is Hendrick. I thought Hendrick would be up here because he's probably going to end up being one of the best players in the nation. So Porter there in the top 10. Mapp coming in next at 18th. D'Antonio White at 20th. He'll fall off. These guys that aren't starting will fall off. Carter at 22. He could climb. So we'll see how all that goes. Let's get out here and check out Jackson. Make sure we don't have any negative notes. Go ahead and get the offer in and see if we can get through recruiting and get to simulating the games. Where is our man, Brad Jackson? All right. He likes to play in the post. Interesting. Rarely ever misses practice. All right. So, yeah, we can go for that. Let's get into the visits. Ought to be about 4, maybe 5 weeks of simulating. Then we'll get into our in-home visits. And then it's going to be game time. We're going to go out, hit the hardwood, see what happens. Gurley. Was Mason the number 1 recruit? Gurley moved up above him. Singletary's still hanging in there at 3. Okay. So Gurley's now the top recruit in the nation. It's a Saturday before the Super Bowl and we're playing basketball. That's how we do in this area of the country. We're basketball people. I don't know what to tell you. College basketball people specifically, but... I thought about doing a little bit of the Pro Football 2021 just since, the big game's tomorrow. But yeah, a little bit of luck would go a long way, Stanley. You're absolutely right. I thought about doing some pro football, but it had been too long since I'd done the college basketball. And like I said earlier, I'm running out of time if I'm... Oh, Mason back up on top. I'm running out of time if I want to hang a banner in this simulation, in this version of college basketball. If it doesn't happen this season, maybe I got 1, maybe 2 seasons left. I don't know. It just depends on when that college basketball 21 drops. But, all right. So I didn't lose either of my guys. Mason committed to UConn early. Look at this guy going to Dayton. Dayton just landed the number 4 prospect in the country, Pat Bartow and Nair Rainey. So a couple of centers headed off to the Villanova Wildcats. That's interesting to see. Let's get out into these living rooms. All right, so Gurley's big on playing time. So are his parents. So we are a little bit backed up at small forward, but he would certainly play. I don't know that this is necessarily in our favor, but we're going to pitch it. Who else do we want to go talk to? Malone Wright. He was a good-looking guard. We'll talk to him about school prestige. Brad Jackson is a location guy, and he's out of California, so that doesn't necessarily bode well for us. But we got a good recruiter. Let's go talk to him. Maybe we talk to him about location. Like, I know location's important to you, buddy, but Louisville's a nice place to be too. And let's go check out the other point guards. I feel like we really need to bring in a point guard. Gibbs, how did he do in his camp? Top 5 at Houston. All right, so let's go talk to Gibbs as well. It'll be assists there. He looks like he's got to be a really great passer. All right, so let's see what that opened up. Get into his living room, get ourselves a backup option here at the point. Hopefully we don't need it, but just in case, he's into academics. We'll go visit him. We'll also host him. We'll host a couple more point guards. All right, so let's see how that does. Interested in what Nova's doing. They landed 2 top centers. They had another one of those guys really high up on the list. Ooh. Both our targets already coming in with the decisions. First of all, Brad Jackson out of California. Wanted to hear about location. Actually, even though Gurley's the top prospect in the country, I think Jackson's the longer shot. He's going to Arizona. Dang, Gurley's going to Michigan State. So we lost out on both of those. Oh, doesn't bode well for me speeding through the recruiting quickly. It's just a pain. Let's see how... So we did climb up onto Gibbs' list. We'll go ahead and throw that offer out. Talk about a little bit more academics with him. All right, so we got a handful of options at the 3. Let's also take a look at the big man. There's a handful of big men here. Reggie Stewart. Top 25 at Indy. Let's throw an offer out here. Todd Gurley, the future. Yeah, we didn't land Gurley, unfortunately. All right, so he's in a conference prestige. It's frustrating when you try to zip right through recruiting and then you don't land anybody. And I wouldn't typically do that, but I try to, like, normally in my stream or in my solo saves, I would go much slower. But I try to get through all the recruiting and all the games in one sitting here, and it makes it a little bit difficult. Let's just go ahead and host one more. Need to get into this living room with some talk about facilities. And let's go back, see if there's any other point guards that we're particularly interested in. Thorne was top 25 in New York. Didn't stand out. So Harper is basically off the list. Yeah, gray as well. Tremendous work ethic. Like to see that. Top 25 at Memphis. Yeah, so Forrest is a decent option here. Let's see, what you into? Number one priority, location. Alright, got our offers out, got our visits, got our hosting. Let's check out this schedule. Alright, so we'll have one big game at Oklahoma, and then Illinois at home, and then our ACC slate of games. So let's throw in a game with Oregon at home. That'll be cool. Lost out on both those scholarships. You know, sometimes you just have years like this where everybody, even our backup options, decide to go other places. Alright, so we're back down to Forrest at point guard. The small forward. So Hampton was decent at the regional, not too much into that. Cherry. Top 5 at Memphis. There we go. And he's into location. So let's host, go talk about location. And that's all that I'm going to do there. Like, I'm just over recruiting right now. Trying to hurry through this thing. If we weren't 25 seasons into it and I was still going, yeah, the team is stacked. That's one of the things you'll notice when you got a really talented team. It's harder to bring guys in because they don't see the playing time. And regardless, whether that's their first priority or not, it always comes into effect. All those things come into effect with every single recruit. Didn't land anybody, but also didn't lose anybody, so that's a decent sign. Moved up to 5th on his list. Let's go talk to him about location one more time. Over here. Oh, we actually landed Forrest. So we got one of our targets, Joe Forrest. So he was decent at Indy, top 25 at Memphis. He had the tremendous work ethic. He also had no injuries. So both those things, you know, he's not going to be a one-and-done kind of guy. He'll be around for a while, and he should be all right. Ideally, he doesn't have to start next year. He could be a backup, and we keep either Bond or Greenleaf. You know, hopefully one of those two wouldn't transfer out. They could be the starter, and then Forrest could be a backup, kind of grow into the position. So that would work just fine with me. Let's see. We got Vernon Cherry as well. So we landed a fairly decent recruiting class. A couple of top 100 guys, some 4-star recruits, no 5-star. So, you know, maybe they'll fire us after this year. We'll see. We're nowhere close to being fired. So another one that was decent at Indy. He was top 5 at Memphis, though. So works out just fine with me. Another guy that can kind of grow into it. We brought in a lot of one-and-dones the past couple of years. So if any of those guys stick around, they'll probably be starting, and these guys will be backups. But, you know, they should both be decent. So if they're forced into some playing time, they'll be able to handle it. So we're good. Sometimes you just have an off year recruiting, and it is what it is. But if you're going to have an off year, it's good to do it when you only have 2 scholarships. Practice problems. Oh, Billy Guy. Having problems in practice? This dude's a walk-on anyway. Could care less, dude. Don't care what you have to say. If he was causing problems with other players, I would just go ahead and cut him, but... Yeah, Stanley, you're absolutely right. When you're successful, they do not believe they're going to get the PT, and that definitely hurts your cause. Greenleaf's good handling. He can't score or play defense. It's really odd that he was as highly rated as he was. Huh. let's get over to the dashboard screen. It's where we like to advance from. Going to get to some games. We're getting into November, so the games are going to hit soon. We'll see how this team does. I think they're going to do well in the ACC. They're going to do well in the regular season. But like everything is out the door. The only thing that matters at this point is, first of all, making the Final Four. That's the minimum to have a successful season. But I'm trying to win that championship. So I do have really an entire starting five full of guys that I think can lead me to a championship. Any one of them could be the best player on a championship team, in my opinion. But especially the freshmen Hendrick and Hampton, because both of them are just such good scorers. But Mapp and Porter and all these guys, they're all 5 stars as well. So should be a fun year. Stars coming out of our ears, right? Stars coming off the bench, 4 and 5 star guys coming off the bench. So it should be a fairly dominant season for us. Hopefully we avoid injuries and make it happen in the tournament. So let's see what goes on. First game of the year, and poor Coppin State is coming into the Ville, coming into the Yum Center. Our first sacrificial lamb of the stream, the Coppin State Eagles. They got off, 1-0 start, so good for them. Something tells me we're going to beat them down 24 points. Hendrick, Carter, and Mapp lead the way. So right out of the gate, the freshman named player of the game dropped, I think it was about 16 points there for Hendrick. Exactly what we figured starting out for him. And that should be the story of the season. Hendrick, along with Hampton, honestly, should both be leading most of these games. Porter, Mapp, and Carter will fill in any gaps. Now we got the Billikens coming in. Well, St. Louis, old school. I think this was a Conference USA opponent. We used to play St. Louis every year. The Billikens, back when they had Larry Hughes. So we got some history here. We put a historical beating on them, 81-42. Hendrick once again, leading score. Now we got the Bulldogs. What tournament is this? It's got a palm tree, so maybe there's like the Hawaiian, they got the shootout or something. Looks like we're in Hawaii, or at the very least somewhere tropical, so the guys are relaxing on the beach in between games. Hopefully not sipping on anything too cold. But we got the Bulldogs, one of my favorites. Random task, get out of here. Hoping I'll lose. Bulldogs, a team that I coached once upon a time in a solo save of mine. We didn't show them any mercy, though. Hampton and Hendrick, what we get? We got a double H. We're one shot Triple H, right? We need a Triple H out here. But anyway, Hampton and Hendrick lead the way there, the freshmen. Now we're going to get Western. I don't know if this is the finals of this preseason tournament or not. Or I guess, is it still called a preseason tournament? Palmetto Shootout in South Carolina. So says Random Task. All right. I will assume he is correct because I have absolutely no idea. Ooh, look, number 2, number 3. Big game over here as Villanova takes out Syracuse. We've slipped down to number 4 here. Apparently our beatings have not impressed the media, so down to number 4. Playing the in-state Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. 20-point game. Hendrick had 22 himself, and we move on to 4-0, and it looks like that's going to wrap up the Palmetto Shootout, according to Random Task. So if it's not the Palmetto Shootout, you know who to blame. Certainly not me. I'll believe anything anybody tells me in chat. All right, now we got the Hoosiers. So they're off to an 0-2 start. Man, that's 0-2 either at home or on neutral courts. I don't know if neutral court comes in to the away rating or not, but if they're 0-2 at home, this might not go well for them. Probably not looking like a chance to get off of the winless streak here. So, let's see. Yeah, nice little 30-point beat down on the Hoosiers. And that was the first game that we were totally led by not freshmen. So I think that was actually Porter and White, so two of our small forwards, and John Carter were the top 3 players of that game. But anyway, off to the start that we assumed we would get to, 5-0, number 4 in the country, cruising through November. And now we're going to head out, first time for a true road game, at the Oklahoma Sooners. I've actually got another save where I'm Oklahoma, so we're playing a handful of teams that I've ran a save with here early in the year. Although at this point, like, I've been playing Draft Day Sports college basketball since like 2015, maybe 2016. So I've had a personal save with quite a few teams. When we get the 15-point win there on the road, Hendrick and Hampton showed up, Map, the player of the game. But, over the years, I've had saves with a lot of teams. So I've actually had a save with Indiana as well. I've had Oklahoma. I've had Georgia. I've got one right now going with UCLA. I've had New Mexico State, Washington State. Obviously, on this stream, we had Tulane, Nebraska, Florida A&M. I usually start off my own personal journeyman saves with Northern Kentucky. That's the closest college to where I'm actually living now. So, and they're the right prestige, I feel like, for a first-time head coaching job. So I like to start off saves there. I've had some saves with Eastern and Western Kentucky. So, a little bit of everywhere. We'll see what the college basketball 21 journeyman save, where that ends up taking us. I'd like to end up there landing somewhere other than Louisville, because I'm trying to not have too many Louisville saves. I get the rosters all mixed up. I'm going to be, if anybody in chat isn't aware, GM Games is going to be running their own college basketball 2021 league. So I'm going to be Louisville in that league, and that's going to be my only Louisville save for 2021. As we pick up another win at Iowa. Looked like Davey Hampton led the way there along with Map and Porter, or it might have been White. It was one of the small forwards. Anyway, 7-0 on the season now. But yeah, I'm going to be Louisville in the GM Games multiplayer league. Anybody that wants to join in, reach out to us, let us know. We'll get you in there whenever it goes live. But that's going to be my only Louisville save, so I have no idea. I will do a stream on this Twitch for College Basketball 21 when it finally comes out. But I have no idea where I'm going to start or where I'm going to end up. I will tell you, I will not be taking over Louisville at any point in that stream unless I get really super intoxicated during a stream and start feeling sentimental. So it's your all's job to talk me out of that. But I'm going to try to avoid it just so I don't get confused on rosters and that sort of thing. Yeah, I'd be happy to get to the Wildcats, be it Villanova or Arizona. There's quite a few Wildcats I would be perfectly happy to take over. Any of them not in the city of Lexington, Kentucky. Sure. I'm into that. What's up? Chris already reached out. You're going to be Coastal Carolina. Woo! That'd be a fun save. It's interesting to take out the smaller teams, and see how far you can go with them, raise the prestige. I don't know, it's always interesting. There's so many different ways to play these games, and I've tried just about every way I can. Excuse me. All right, folks, we are cruising through this season, 8-0 on December 5th. I'm hoping to get... No. We are not going to Kentucky. I knew what you were talking about. I was intentionally dancing all around it. We will not be going to Kentucky. I can promise you that. There's no school I have less interest in coaching. I like being other teams in the SEC just to knock them off the top of the hill in the SEC. I don't care who I am in the SEC. I'll be anybody and just beat on them. But now we get that game against Oregon at home. They were, I think, top 15 in the preseason. They've dropped off a little bit. Yeah, Pants with Laser said he started a journeyman save with Idaho State. Hasn't left. He got too attached. That happens, man. I've gotten I've got like little attachments to all those teams. Oh, Hendrick suffered an injury. I hope that's not bad. I've got little attachments to all those teams that I've played saves with over the years. So let's see here. Concussion, he'll be all right. Sore knee, he'll be all right. So like I always keep an eye like how's New Mexico State doing, and I don't ever know if I want to go like back to those teams and try it again. It's interesting to see. Random Task says it's interesting to do Journeyman saves where you can only go to schools with the same mascot. That is an interesting idea. Says the Owls are most common. I know Wildcats is definitely pretty common. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a handful of different ways to do it. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just going to try to do sort of what I started off trying to do in this save. Just start off somewhere small and try to take one, maybe two steps to where I ultimately want to stay. Had I not got fired from Nebraska in this save, I might have ended up just staying there. If I could have got set up and winning championships and that sort of thing. But I did want to come full circle with our first season of streaming from the GM Games Twitch stream and bring it back around to Louisville just because they're my boys, but in the future we'll probably avoid that for reasons I already explained. We're ready to get into this conference play. Man, we're still only in early December. We got to get going. We got to get some of these big conference games on the road, put a little bit of fear into me. I haven't seen a game yet that I was the least bit worried about losing, and I don't think we've had a game in the single digits yet this year. All right, so this is the first game that we could potentially lose on the road against a ranked opponent, and of course, it ends up being the Kentucky Wildcats, whom I absolutely loathe. So, the Louisville Cardinals and the Kentucky Wildcats at Rupp Arena, going 7-on-5 at Rupp Arena. As always, ask anybody that's ever played there. You can't get a fair shake out of the whistle in Rupp. Let's check this out. 81-69, we take care of business. Nice little 12-point win. And you can see there, Hendrick fights through the concussion to chip in with double-digit points, but Davey Hampton led the way, and Louisville moves on to 10-0 on the year. So, we got past the first obstacle of the season, first of many to come. Tigers is more common, Ultra says. Yeah, nice little 12-point win. So that's what we hope would happen. More often than not, that's what's going to happen in those games. But you never know. Road wins against good teams, they're just hard to get. So we can win them by double digits, but you can easily lose games like that. They're definitely, as often as not, just a flip of the coin, to be honest. They're dangerous games. Any game on the road in college basketball is dangerous, but especially against highly ranked teams, and especially in a rivalry game. So, we got the nice 12-point win, but you got to remember, like, our team is absolutely loaded. So, definitely closer than, probably the talent would suggest, but that's college basketball for you. All right, so we are back at home. Looks like an unrated Illinois Fighting Illini at 4-3 on the season, coming in to the Yum Center. So hopefully we take care of business here. 81-55. Hampton Hendrick with 23. So I told y'all Hendrick should have been on that Norton list. I mean, he's been in the top 3 players of the game, every game except for maybe 2 or 3 so far. And we're a third of the way through the season. So for Bond to be on the Norton list, and for D'Antonio White to be on the Norton list, and for Hendrick not to be on the Norton, I don't understand how exactly that worked out. Hendrick would have been a contender for sure. God, as far as the guys that actually were on the list, I don't know. What was it? Was it Porter that was the highest rated? I don't know that he's going to be able to even stick around in that top 10. Hampton or Hendrick, I think either one could have won it, but I don't think either one were even nominated. So, it'll be an interesting race for the Norton, but I don't think our best candidates are actually in that race. So we're just going to let that go. Oh, we did get both our guys signed their letters of intent, so we don't have any eligibility issues there. We'll go ahead and delete all those emails. I don't need to see anything that we've already got. All right, so now we're into conference play. It's December 26th, and we're going to start off conference play against the North Carolina Tar Heels. Now, North Carolina is a team. I do try to stay away from ACC teams when I do my Journeyman saves, just because I don't like playing Louisville 2-3 times a year. But North Carolina is definitely a team I've always kind of thought about playing. I'll do a North Carolina save eventually. I just haven't got there yet. Oh, when I was talking earlier, I forgot to mention I have done saves with Duke and Georgetown. But I've never got around to North Carolina. I've always wanted to play as them. So that's definitely a possibility for a landing spot in 2021. And we just absolutely crushed them at home. 26 points. Davey Hampton, player of the game. So nice start for our conference play. Up to number 2 in the country. I can't imagine who number 1 is right now. I mean, I guess it could be whoever won that Syracuse-Villanova game earlier in the year. Syracuse is still number 4, so they're still pretty highly rated. Nice home win over Miami there. Now we're on the road at Clemson, so this is second obstacle of the season. Can we win on the road at Clemson? So we got a ranked team on the road in conference. This is a very losable game, but not today, folks. 20-point win. It does look like Chris Marshall got injured, so that is a concern. He's our primary backup as a big man, and it's just a sprained finger. So injury-wise, we are still doing pretty good. Bond started off the season kind of angry, and he's moved from red to yellow, so I feel good about that. Maybe he'll stick around. Don't care about walk-ons. A little bit worried about Bobby Howard, but Porter's perfectly happy. Hopefully he won't leave. Greenleaf is definitely looking like a prospect that could be transferring when this season's over, so we'll just have to see how that plays out. There was Coastal Carolina for you, old Trey. Nice little win, nice little 6-point win for them. What was that, 80-74? I didn't see who they played, but maybe that's a sign that Coastal Carolina is going to be taking over the CBGM. The Zags sticking around there in the top 5. Blowout win against Jacksonville State. Chris Thomason. Look at it, 22-14 out of Thomason. I'm pretty sure that's a guy that's been with the Zags for a couple of years and is super, super talented. He might have even won the Norton once already. I'm not sure. Yeah, you got to take anyone you can get, right? All right. So, no game today for the Ville. We're on into the 2045. January of 2045. Got quite the history built up in this save, guys. At some point, we're going to have to go through and take a look at some of these historical records. Probably once 2021 comes out and I know the stream's done, I'll probably do some kind of stream just to take a look back at, who won the most championships, some of the different statistical leaders and that sort of thing from this save. And then hopefully next year's version, we got through already 25 years here. Could end up getting close to 30 before we're done with it. Next year I'd love to be able, if I could stream like weekly with this, just once a week with this, and then, find other time to stream different things. If I could get through 50 seasons on 2021, that'd be awesome. So, I got goals. 40-point win, my word. Hendrick suffered another injury. So, back to crossing our fingers and hoping that this is not serious back spasms. He'll be all right. Marshall almost recovered from the sprained finger, so we're still doing all right there. So, anybody, if you didn't notice, Chris just posted in chat our his list to the website that is going to list all of the managers for our multiplayer league for 21. So check that out if you're interested in joining. You can see if the team that you're interested in is still available or not. Now we are headed number 2 in the nation, 14-0, 3-0 in conference, headed on the road to play an unranked Wake Forest team. So hopefully we can take care of business here with Hendrick being a little bit banged up. Got those back spasms going on, but we still take care of business. 16 points. Hendrick still with 21 points, even fighting through the injury. So really like to see that. We're halfway through the season, and we still haven't had a game closer than 10 points that I can recall. Of course, I'm sure we're going to have a couple of tough road games in conference before it's all said and done. But for now, guys, we are cruising. And mostly on the back of those freshmen. They're really, really just pouring in the points for us. But they're both amazing scorers. Hendrick with the 9 rated scoring. Hampton was at 8, but he had 10 for inside shooting. Random test. I do not know who's number 1. I guess I need to check that, don't I? So it is Villanova. I don't know who was number 1 earlier in the season when Nova and Syracuse played that big 3-4 matchup. Or no, they were the 2-3 matchup when we were number 4. But Villanova has moved into the top spot. And they are also undefeated, as is Arizona. So we've still got 3 undefeated teams left. All right, so Villanova, Louisville, and Arizona all undefeated. Syracuse looking like the biggest challenge that we're going to have in the ACC. A road game at Syracuse is definitely going to be tough. We'll also have... we've played one of... Did we already play Clemson on the road? Anyway, Syracuse on the road is definitely going to be... Let's see if we actually have that game. I assume that we do. At number 3 Syracuse on January 25th. So then we'll have at Georgia Tech. We already beat at number 17 Clemson. So this right here, January 25th, that's our number 1 candidate to our biggest threat of a loss in this regular season. January 25th against Syracuse, undefeated. I would love to have a matchup of the undefeateds at that time. So let's see if we can keep it up. Let's see if... Or no. They're not undefeated. It's us, Villanova, and Arizona. Never mind. So no matchup of the undefeated in the regular season for us. Maybe we could do something in the postseason if Nova or Arizona can keep it up. But Syracuse has already lost. But it'll still be a big matchup. It's still our biggest threat to lose. Take care of Miami by 20. Carter and Marshall led the way. I didn't see who the third player was. Yeah, 16-0 team. That'll do it, especially since they already beat Syracuse. So they've got that big signature win out there already. I didn't see RPI-wise if we were ahead of them or they were ahead of us. Now we get Duke. Duke's another one. I said that I'd played as them. I still wouldn't mind doing a save as Duke because they always fall off in this because their academic standards are so high. Once they don't have... Like, as soon as Krzyzewski retires, they go in the tank every single time. So it would be interesting to keep them relevant just because the computer can't seem to do it. But at the same time, there's a lot of teams I'd rather be than Duke. So it's an interesting challenge, but I don't know that it would be particularly rewarding. We take care of business there. Carter, Hendrick, and Hampton, 30 points against the Dukies, and they're going to go to 1-5 in conference. We are 6-0, 17-0 on the season. I pre-recorded this? No, I did not pre-record anything. That would be nice, but I don't think it's going to be a perfect season. I think we're going to get tripped up in that game at Syracuse. At a minimum. We might lose another one. You can always have just a random bad game, especially in conference on the road. Get some kind of random, 10-12, I don't know, Boston, or not, Pittsburgh or something. You never know. Something weird. They can always get you. And we still got 12 games to go in conference. That's before we hit the tournament. So Now, I didn't see if we get Syracuse at home, so if we only play Syracuse once... If we only get Syracuse once and they get us, we might have to get a little bit of redemption in that ACC championship tournament. Let's see if we can get the Noles on the road. So they're 500 in conference, 10-6 overall, not a bad team. So definitely dangerous. We take care of business, 15 points. Lamont Map leads the way with 25. So staying undefeated. Oh, we're close now. We're 6 days away from the game at Syracuse. I don't know if we're going to have another game before then. We may. I'd love to be undefeated going into that game and then see what happens. NC State. All right, we got NC State, the Wolfpack at home. I was actually talking about the Wolfpack this morning with some of my buddies. I don't know if you guys have seen, doesn't really fit into this, but NCAA football is coming back. I couldn't be more excited about that from EA. I think it's from EA. But me and my buddies used to play that all the time. One of them loved to be the Wolfpack. And he would always, they were always great games. So a little bit of a throwback there for me. Louisville and North Carolina State. Taking care of business, no problems. We're going to Syracuse undefeated, putting our undefeated record. We're putting it all on the line here. Hopefully they're still number 3. Number 2 versus number 3. Oh, what a game. What a game, guys. Let's see if we can get it. So Syracuse, they've actually lost 3 games on the season, and they're still number 3. That's interesting. Oh, biggest game of the year so far. I won't be this nervous again until we get to the Final Four, hopefully. It's almost February, so we ought to be getting news soon with regard to the Norton. I can't imagine we're going to have anybody left in the top 10. All right, here we go. Game of the year in college basketball. January 25th, 2045. It's the Cardinals versus the Orange. Can we stay undefeated, or are the Orange going to knock us off the path? I would love to make a run at an undefeated season, an undefeated title. But first, you got to beat Syracuse at Syracuse. It's a tall order. And we couldn't get it done. They beat us by 5. Chris Phillips led the way for the Cuse, 75-70. There go the dreams of the undefeated season. We can take a quick look at the box score if we want. So Carter and Hendrick both played pretty well, but Hendrick was actually a -10 in his time on the floor. Hampton fouled out. Chris Marshall in reserve didn't really have a great game. He was all right. Howard really did not play well at all, -11. So, let's see. Chris Phillips just dominating for the Orange, 22 and 14, plus 12. They had some foul trouble too. They got a starter playing 6 minutes. So, the foul trouble didn't necessarily win it. Let's see. 6 of 14. They shot better than us from 3. They shot about 10 more free throws. Rebounding was fairly even. They were a little bit better at everything. So, that's what happens, though. You play good teams on the road. Not blaming it on anybody, guys. It's tough. It's tough to win those games on the road. Nobody's going undefeated in college basketball. It just doesn't happen. When's the last time it happened? Like the 70s with UCLA? The 60s? I think you could go undefeated, but I don't think, not if you've got a top 5 team in your conference. If I had the same Louisville team and I was going through, I think the SEC is kind of down in this. I think the Pac, let's just look, standings-wise. No, polls and media is what I want. Sorry about that. So, yeah, I mean, look, if I'm in the SEC right now, the best team is South Carolina. I could take care of South Carolina on the road. So if I was at the SEC, I'd have a chance to go for an undefeated season. But you're not going to do it in the ACC. You're not going to do it in the Big East, the Big Ten. I don't know what – I can never remember what Gonzaga's in. Mountain West. Even with the Pac, Arizona's doing well. Oklahoma State doing well in the Big 12. So really the SEC is probably the best shot to have an undefeated team in a season like this. But, it goes in – it's all cyclical. The SEC will have good teams in a few years. So you get the right coaches in there at programs like Kentucky and Florida, and they start winning games. But we'll see if we can get back on the right path on the road against Miami. 20 points led by Hendrick and Hampton. One shy of Triple H. Guess we can just call him Double H. The SLU fans, so you remember the Larry Hughes days. It's about the only player that I remember from there, but he was awesome. Yeah, St. Louis would be a pretty fun team to bring back. Anybody from like Conference USA or the American would be fun. Shoot, I might end up at UC. UC would be a fun one for me to do. 20 points against Pittsburgh there, so they're not coming into the Yum and beating us. I don't think anybody's beating Louisville at home with this roster. But yeah, I'd love to do UC. They got a cool color scheme, a cool history, in a pretty good conference, and that would be a fun team to have up in like the top 5 and just be dominating people, right? And you could maybe have an undefeated season in the American, I think. So that might be that's definitely a possibility for a 2021 landing spot if we could get to UC. Bring back the glory days of Bobby Huggins. (21-1) into February. Oh, let's jump over and take a look in our inbox, see what the update on the Norton is. Lamar Mapp and John Carter are both quarterfinalists. Yeah, so Porter definitely fell out of that top 10. He's not even in the top 30. Carter is way down at number 21, and Mapp is at 26. Neither of the freshmen were on the list, so either one of them would have been better candidates than anybody we had nominated. But unfortunately, they did not get nominated. They're not on the list. They're not eligible. So we are not at all competing for the Norton in this season. You've got to be nominated to that preseason to even have a chance. Actually, in one of my, I think it was a college basketball 19 save, I started up a personal save with Louisville. And in the very first season, like one of the players that just got generated onto the team, I didn't have to recruit him or anything. He got generated in as a senior, and he was the top scorer in the nation. He was absolutely ridiculous. He won Player of the Year. He was a first-team All-American. He scored more points in that season than anybody else scored in a single season for that entire save, which I played for 10 or 15 years. Was never on the Norton list. Wasn't eligible. So, I mean, we're just taking care of business here against all of these teams that aren't top 5 road games. 30 points there against the Hokies of Virginia Tech. And, outside of, we got one game at Georgia Tech, I think. And outside of that, we're going to cruise right into the postseason and just see where this team wraps it up. So hopefully, I need to have one shining moment queued up, right? Hopefully that's how this season ends. If it's another one of these disappointing, getting bounced in the Elite Eight, y'all might see me cry on stream. When do I find out the March Madness bracket? Once all of the conference tournaments are done, so that will be mid-March, give or take. I mean, when I hit the conference tournament and then hopefully win that, it'll be right afterwards. And we'll watch the entire bracket be unveiled. So we're on the road against NC State, and there is the second loss that I told you we could definitely pick up. NC State jumps up and beats us by 1. Now we got a post-game incident. Danny Mason mouthing off about John Carter. I really hope Mason, for his sake, isn't a walk-on. No. He's that very highly rated power forward who ended up as only a 2-star guy. So let's call him up, tell him to watch his attitude. All right. He promised to change, so we're all good there. All right, let's shake off that Wolfpack nonsense. Oh, you saw the Bengals rebuild on YouTube. Yeah, that happened really quick, actually. And I mentioned earlier in the stream, I thought about doing the Bengals again today. It's just this college basketball save has kind of been what we started the Twitch stream off with, and it had been like almost 2 weeks since I'd done one. I didn't want to leave it high and dry. I'll definitely get another one of those Bengals videos up in the next couple of weeks, especially like once the NFL is over, once the game tomorrow is over. People be looking for that NFL fix, so we'll step in and do our part, but first, let's take care of these Knowles 7154, Hendrick, Carter, and Hampton. We'll get the pro football back up and going, but I had to get back to college basketball because I've got to get this title before college basketball 21 drops. This is the goal. Every single minute of this save has been live. You guys have seen it all for 26 seasons now. We got to hang the banner, right? We got to hang the banner before we hang it up here. If I win the championship, that might just be the end of my college basketball 2020 streaming, and we might have to roll into 21 just whenever it comes. But first, we got to win the championship. So we've got a team that can do it. They've played well so far. We've avoided any major long-term injuries, and we're into the middle of February now. So, we got four left in the regular season, 4 games in the regular season. Ideally, we play 3 in the conference championship. And then it's, 6 games to hang a banner. 6 games to reach our goal. And hopefully we don't get knocked off. I think every time we end up getting knocked off by a VCU. So ideally, VCU doesn't qualify for the tournament. I don't even want to play them in a 1/16 game. I have no desire to see VCU come up in my bracket or the bracket at all. All right, so at Georgia Tech, now they were ranked earlier in the year. They're not right now, but definitely this is a dangerous game. I mean, we saw with the NC State game, anything in conference on the road is dangerous. This Georgia Tech team might not be having the year they had hoped for, but they're definitely talented. And this is another potential loss, but we take care of business there. About 17 on the back of Davey Hampton. I think he posted a double-double, right? I know points-wise he was big time. Yeah, 12 rebounds as well. Look, Porter and Carter both almost had double-doubles of their own. And, Map had 7 assists, but not a single point. He went 0 for 3, 0 for 5 from the field, but still a plus 20. So, getting it done in other ways there. So 24-2, 13-2 in conference play. 3 games left until we hit the postseason. And we've actually won. I looked at this, I think before the last stream. I think there's only been 1 or maybe 2 of our seasons at Louisville that we haven't won the ACC tournament. So we've been running that tournament. The problem is the NCAA tournament. So we got to see if we can get that taken care of. One last mountain to climb. Got the Tar Heels on the road here. 14-point win. Nothing to worry about. We're moving on. 25-2. Number 3 in the country. I wonder if Villanova's still undefeated. We'll be able to see when they release the brackets. I want to hurry up and get through the rest of this stream. We've been on. I actually can't see how long we've been on. My device has been acting up the last couple of streams, so I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe I need to update something, but I don't have the timer I know I'm running out of refreshment over here, so I would imagine we've been going for a while. About a week left in February, then we will get right at the beginning of March, we'll be able to see which of our players declare for the draft. No, 16-10 is not a good season. Like I was saying earlier, though, the Tar Heels are interesting to me. Maybe that can be my 21 save. We'll see how that... It's really going to depend on what interesting job opens up and offers me first, honestly. I got the Fighting Irish. Didn't put up too much of a fight there. 23-point win at home. Hendrick with a big game scoring-wise. It'd be interesting to see if Hendrick and Hampton are first-team All-ACC. I would imagine they got to be at least second-teamers. And now we get Virginia at home, the Cavaliers, to close out the regular season. Get a nice little senior night send-off here for D'Antonio White. Breeze had a team with a losing record that made the selection show. Yeah, the teams are a mod, STP. And all of these mods are available. I think they're all on the Wolverine Studios forums. But yeah, all the team names and everything. Like, if you don't have the mod, I think Louisville's like the Redbirds or something like that. But yeah, you can get the logos, the team names, all that sort of thing. You can download that at the forum. 22-point win to round it out, and Hendrick leads the way yet again. So Hendrick's got to be our player of the year. So you can see we had no Norton semifinalists. All right, we're on to the postseason. Oh, wait, do we have 20? We might have 20 conference games in the ACC. Because we're still kind of early February. I mean, not 3 days left. I'm just saying, like, we'll see. Boston College not doing it was Boston College 16-11, 9-9 in conference play. Yeah, they're not having a great conference season. They're not having a great season at all. And that's another. Boston College is kind of an interesting team. Wouldn't be terrible to go there, rebuild them up a little bit. All right, we're closing in on. I'm starting to get excited. Like, my y'all can't see it on camera, but like my legs are bouncing, and I'm like starting to fiddle with stuff, and just getting the energy. I'm getting the energy. We're almost to postseason time. There's my boys at Tulane, 20-8. They're doing all right. STP asked about tomorrow. You know, I'm finding it hard to get excited about any real-life sports this season because it's just so irregular. You know, games being canceled like crazy, players not being able to play, all that sort of thing. But, yeah, I'm interested to see what happens tomorrow, mostly just to see. Like, I feel like it's more relevant to Brady's legacy than anything else. Like, if he just bails on New England and goes down to Tampa Bay and takes them to the Super Bowl and wins it in his very first year, like, that's ridiculous, you know? So I'm more interested to watch and see for him legacy-wise. In my opinion, Kansas City's a better team. But, like, it's like, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I want to bet against the GOAT. You know what I mean? 24 points there over the Hokies. Yeah, I'd imagine if you're over in Europe, that game is pretty late at night. I am excited tomorrow for the snacks and the beverages. That's always my favorite part. Getting ready for some nice cheese dip with some ground beef in there. Let me spice it up a little bit. Some chicken wings. See what kind of adult beverages we can round up. All right, now this one should be the last regular season game. On the road against the Fighting Irish. And we take care of that by 12. Hendrick went for 29 in that one. So it might actually have been his biggest scoring outburst of the season. STP ready for next season's Madden? I think I haven't bought Madden in years. It just college sports do it for me way more than pro. All right, here's our players declaring for the draft. So this is actually a pretty big deal. We got a whole lot of guys that could go pro, and this is kind of terrifying. Let's see what it is. So 3 of them, but interestingly enough, not Hendrick. So we lose Hampton, Carter, and Mason. Obviously, this is just devastating to our inside because I believe Mason was that power forward who's not really playing much. Yeah. So next season, our inside is just going to be Clifford Barron, Chris Marshall. Hampton's gone, Mason's gone, Carter's gone. And I don't think we're bringing in a big man, or we brought in a small forward. What did we end up with? Small forward, yeah. So Marshall and Barron are going to be our only guys on the inside next year. The flip side of that is we get all this back. All that we lose outside of those 3. White will go. Porter should still be around. I mean, then you're just looking at, who transfers. But if these guys stick around, we still have Porter, Howard. We still have Hendrick, who would 1,000% he's not friendly, and he has pathetic work ethic, but and he injures easily. So he's a little bit of a jerk. But he's scoring 18.5 a game, so he was very highly ranked. He would certainly be a threat to win the Norton Award next year. And he's going to be back, along with Lamont Mapp as a senior. And then we'll see. Greenleaf, like I said earlier, certainly looks like a candidate to transfer. Bond now is actually, his mood is greatly improved. So if Marshall, I don't know if Marshall and Barron are enough on the inside for another team that's threatening to go undefeated or anything like that. But that will certainly still be a team that can compete, can reach the Final Four, can have a very good season. They're still a top 10 team with certainty. Yeah, EA announced a new college football game. I mentioned that earlier in stream. I still play the 2014 version of it. Great memories with all my friends in that, and I can't wait till that comes back out. That was huge news that came out this week. For the rest of this stream in College Basketball 2020, I'm going to finish it out with Louisville, and hopefully I'm going to finish it out with a national championship. Once I get past that, I'll probably, if I can win a championship, then I'll probably try to stream some other stuff until 2021 version of this game comes out. Once we get the 2021 version of this game, I'll be Louisville in the CBGM multiplayer online league that GM Games is doing. And I don't want to have any other Louisville saves because I always get the rosters mixed up. So I will stream a Journeyman save once the 2021 version comes out, but I won't be Louisville in that one. So I'll definitely change around teams. And I could change around teams in this. Like if I win the championship, maybe I just accept a job somewhere else if I feel like streaming it again before 21 comes out. But front office football is definitely an in-depth professional football game. Probably one of my favorite simulation football games that I've played. I think it's really interesting how they do the ratings in that game. How like a player that's ranked in like the 60s is kind of amazing. And you can start even guys rated in the 40s and 50s, depending on your situation. So now back to this game. We've got Clemson in the ACC tournament. We slide by them by 16, but somebody got hurt, and I'm scared that it's Hendrick again. Let's see. It is Hendrick, and it's a torn knee tendon. All right, so that not only completely changes the rest of this season, but it also completely changes next season. So we'll have him around, but he's probably going to be redshirted. He's probably not going to be healthy. God, that's a terrible loss. All right, so disaster strikes in the first game of the ACC tournament to probably our most important player. Let's see what the AI suggests, how they would change it up. Oh, I hit Matrix. We got to select all. All right, so the AI wants to bring Bond into the starting lineup, move Map over to the 2, and that's exactly what I would have done. So now we've got Greenleaf backing up the point. We want to get him not backing up that. Let's see. All right, so now we just have Greenleaf at the point. Marshall is the backup center. That's fine. Still got Howard as the backup 4, and then D'Antonio White. All right, so really who's picking up a ton of time is going to be Bond. He's a good shooter. He's not quite the scorer that Hendrick was. Definitely a solid passer. So we might get a little bit better output here from the point guard spot since we move Map over to the 2. And Map definitely has that outside shot. He's got the scoring. So, I mean, it hurts. You don't want to lose your best player, but we're all right. If there was somewhere on this team that we had enough depth to lose a player, it was probably right there at the 2 guard. So, moving on from that disaster, we got the Cavaliers in the semifinals. Who will go on to face the Cuse? It's going to be your boy. And Lamont Map steps right into that heavy-duty scoring load as the player of the game. 15 points, 3 blocks. Hampton did all right. Carter did all right. We're still rocking and rolling here. Now is our chance for redemption against Syracuse. Can we at least hang an ACC banner? The cards and the orange for the championship. Yeah, baby. 15 points. Big time. Oh, sorry, that's the box against the Cavaliers. That is not what I'm looking for. No, I wanted to get... Oh, never mind. We're going to the selection show. We won the ACC championship yet again. Regular season and tournament. So, let's see. Big Win Conference. Yeah, I mean, the ACC, if we go back and look at the ACC tournament wins that we've had, I want to say there's only one year we didn't win it, maybe 2, since I've been at Louisville. But let's take a look here. So we got our play-in games. The Florida Gators are in a play-in, as are the Alabama Crimson Tide at 15-15. They made the tournament. They'll play LaSalle. So, number 1 overall, Villanova still undefeated. Oh, my word. Villanova is undefeated. The dream is alive for the Wildcats. UConn with a 2. The Cowboys a 3. Baylor a 4. My old Auburn Tigers in there with an 11. VCU is in the tournament. I saw them. Hopefully, I'd rather play Villanova than VCU at this point. Syracuse grabs a 1 seed along with Michigan State, Pittsburgh, and San Diego State in Detroit. Tulane there grabbed an 8, and here in Dallas in the first round, your Louisville Cardinals, a 1 seed against the Manhattan Jaspers. Arkansas, Minnesota, and Belmont. So we got some interesting other teams in here with us. If you lose to Belmont as a 1 seed, you might feel like that's a down year, but they're 30-3. They grabbed a 4 seed. So interesting there. The Arizona Wildcats, Stanford, South Carolina, and Vandy are your top 4 seeds in the West in Boise. So there's your tournament. Well, they're undefeated in the regular season, Stanley, but they still got to get through the postseason, and that is not a given. There's going to be a lot of obstacles for them here in this NCAA tournament, namely the Louisville Cardinals. Even with Hendrick down, I still think on a neutral court, we got an absolute great chance to beat any team in the country here. We're ranked number 3. I think we can take them out. I'm not worried about it. Very confident going into this tournament. We should do good things here. Yeah, Belmont would be a cool team to beat in the multiplayer league. So if you're going to win a championship, first of all, you got to beat the 16 seeds. We got to take care of the Jaspers here. So if we got any butterflies or anything like that, let's get them out right now. 85-63 Lamont Map leads the way again. So, we slide Lamont Map over into his natural position at the shooting guard. We get a true point guard in there in Steve Bond. And, they're keeping us rolling for sure. We keep all of our big men locked into their, the position they've had throughout the year. But these guards we brought in are doing all right. So now we got to get past the 9-seeded Boston College. You can see there Miami got past Vandy. 90-79, so 11 points. We take care of Boston College. We're on to the Sweet 16, right where we expected to be. Now, guys, we got a handful of games to go. This is where it starts to get real. It can go sideways at any moment. You can get upset at any time. This is why it's called March Madness. Whew. All right, 4 games to hang a banner. Start it off with the Aggies from Texas A&M. My, oh my. Can we survive in advance? Sweet 16, the Cardinals, the Aggies. Whoo, the Cardinals got by 3. Oh my goodness, we get a scare from Texas A&M. My word. Look at Porter pulling down the rebounds. Hampton is the only guy that gets into double digits scoring-wise, so we certainly missed Hendrick in that game. Carter only played 8 minutes with foul trouble. It looks like Porter and Hampton also picked up a handful of fouls, as did Matt. We had a lot of foul trouble in that game. I mean, we had to get 30 minutes out of Howard. Man, oh man. But, survive in advance, guys. Survive in advance. We're in the Elite 8. We're now 3 games away. 3 more games. Big game here from Michigan State and Syracuse. Syracuse handles them easily. Whew. Have a beer and take it easy, yeah. Certainly need to do that. And now we get a 7 seed in the Elite 8. Vermont on a hot streak. And actually, I don't remember if this was in one of the stream saves or in one of my personal saves, but I recently had a number 1 overall seed that got to the Elite 8 and played a 10. And sometimes when you face these lower seeded teams, like they're on a roll, and it's time to look out. The Catamounts have had to beat some good teams to get here. They're playing well, so you can't discount anything at this point. It's the Elite 8. This is a good team. Cross our fingers, cross your toes, cross anything you got. This is to go to the Elite 8. The Catamounts and the Cardinals. Boom! Boom! We take care of business. We're back in the Final Four. 2 more games. 2 more games. Take a look at that box. Carter, Porter, Hampton, all in double digits. Wow, John Carter with 19 rebounds. Hampton chipped in 10. Rebounding-wise, we pulled 51 rebounds to their 32. We beat them to death on the boards. So Louisville is headed on to the Final Four. Let's bounce out, take a look overall at who we're going to be playing here. So in Syracuse, it ended up Villanova, Baylor, Connecticut, and Tulsa upset the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. And then Villanova over Tulsa in the Elite 8. So the Villanova Wildcats are undefeated and in the Final Four. Whoever it was earlier in the stream calling out for an undefeated season, you might be about to get it here with the Villanova Wildcats. So Syracuse region goes to the 1 seed. In Detroit, the 1 seed, Syracuse Orange, took out Temple, took out Michigan State. Winthrop upset Pitt, upset NC State, got all the way out to the Sweet 16 for the 14-seeded Winthrop Eagles. But they fall to Michigan State. Syracuse going to the Final Four. And wrapping it up in Boise, it's Arizona. So the Final Four, guys, is chalk. All the 1 seeds, the top 4 teams in the country. Is Arizona still undefeated? We need to look at that. We might have 2 undefeated teams in the finals. Arizona was undefeated last time I looked. We got nothing but 1 seeds. We got nothing but Cardinals and Wildcats. The ACC. I mean, we've got everything in this Final Four. This is an amazing Final Four. Wow. The arch rival still hanging around. Yeah, for this season, I'm glad that we don't have any VCU, first of all. Wow. Quite the Final Four, guys. If we're going to win it, we're going to have to earn it. And we are not the favorites. The Villanova's got to be the favorites. Let's take a look here and see if Arizona's also undefeated. If we're going to lose it, a battle of the undefeateds in the national championship game would be interesting. But no, Arizona's lost 3 games. Villanova there sitting at 39-0. My goodness, what a season for Nova. All right. Time for the rabbit foot, wherever that is, whoever was calling for it. Break out the rabbit foot, please. Gosh, I try to play it off, but right now I'd really love to have Hendrick back. He's quite the scorer. You never know when those freshmen are gonna jump up, and just so much talent. I'd rather have talent on the floor, but sadly, the torn knee tendon, he will not be able to help us out. Maybe this could be like the last time Louisville won a national championship. You got a good thing going, and then Kevin Ware broke his leg, and he had to watch from the sideline. Of course, a bit of a different situation there, seeing as how Ware was, not the top-rated recruit, top scorer, best player on the team, anything like that. First of all, we're going to simulate the other half of the Final Four, see what happens between Syracuse and Villanova. Oh, I think Syracuse beat them. I think that was 83-81. Let's cancel this out and see. 83-81. Syracuse ends the perfect season for the Villanova Wildcats. It's off the table. There is no perfect season. Now, can we win in the Final Four against Arizona? Chris says he's nervous for me. I'm more nervous for me. Cardinals and Wildcats, Arizona and Louisville, 2 storied programs facing off in the Final Four. What's good, folks? Who's going to get it? 2 teams with just tons of talent, great records, only 5 losses between them. Who's going to pick up the loss? Who's going to face the Orange in the national championship game? Let's get it, Cards. Let's go. Oh, we drilled them. We drilled them by 23. Hampton, Carter, and Mapp doing work, baby. And now we get to the national championship game. It's the first time in this stream I've been here, I believe. I don't think I've been to the championship game yet. We get to play Syracuse, who we've already beaten on a neutral court in the ACC championship game. Random Task wants to live sim. Chris is having a party. I don't know. Do we want to live sim this, or do we want to just play it out and see what happens? Wow. Championship game, guys. Championship game. Against the team that they ended Villanova's undefeated season. They ended our undefeated season. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the ones that beat out Arizona as well and ended their perfect season. All right, we got 2 votes for Watch Live. I tell y'all what, I'm going to hang tight right here. I'm going to run up, grab a soft drink. I'll let you all chat it out amongst yourself, take votes. If we want to play it out live, I will certainly do that, but talk it out, see what the consensus in chat is. Everybody, if you've got an opinion, throw it out there. I'm perfectly happy to sim it. I'm also perfectly happy to play it out and see what happens. Talk amongst yourselves, and we'll make a decision when I get back. Give me 1 minute. All right, let's see what our final decision is in chat. Play it out, watch it live. All right, looks like we're going live. Everybody's interested in checking this out live. The Cardinals in the orange, baby, for all the marbles. For the banner. Championship. I don't know if I've ever even gone in and watched this. I've always seen it. Want me to go? I kind of like leaving it on human control. If I'm gonna watch it, I gotta be in control of it, right? Don't I? Let's see. Maybe I can go back. Yeah, I think Coach Cards is what we're gonna have here. We're gonna see what happens. Alright, so that should be Matt. Hampton's 52. Matt gets fouled. It's some free throws to start it off. Alright, good start, good start. And then we pick up the foul. Carter picks up the foul. Matt misses. Hampton knocks down jumper from the elbow. shot there. They're going back inside. Get open. And 4-4 in the early going. Porter missed a baseline jumper. On from the elbow, can't hit. Kick ball, we get a stoppage. 3 minutes in, tied at 4. Syracuse turns it over. They're putting on some pressure in the backcourt. Bond having to bring it up over to Matt, over to Carter. Bond can't hit from 3, and Hampton picks up a foul. All right, Phillips missed it from the free throw line, and the offense knocked it out. Louisville gets the ball back. Oh, Matt to the bucket. Lamont Matt gets us back in front. Hampton steals the pass. Carter slams it in on the break. 8-4 Louisville. Oh, and Syracuse nails the 3 to pull it back within 1. Hampton throws the ball away. Syracuse coming back the other. And referee warns Hampton. Then we come down, turn it over right away. So we got out to the 8-4 lead immediately. Syracuse takes the lead back 9-8, and we give the ball away. So Hampton there, he's getting warned by the refs. He's a little bit into the yellow. We're going to go ahead and bring in Chris Marshall. We'll go ahead and bring in White as well. Let Map get a couple minutes of rest. And then we'll move White over to spell Porter. All right. Porter blocked it. Porter blocked it twice. Syracuse got him back, and then we knocked the ball out of bounds, so Syracuse ball still. 6 minutes gone in the game, 9-8 Syracuse. Anderson missed it, defensive foul on Bond. 1 of 2 from the line, so 10-8 Syracuse. Oh, there we go. D'Antonio White getting the easy 2 points. Syracuse misses from 3, but they pull the offensive rebound. They are hurting us on rebounding so far. And there's Steve Bond picking up his 2nd foul. So, let's bring Greenleaf in for a minute. And then once Map is rested, we'll bring him back in, and he can play point the rest of the half. And we're probably now going to need... We're going to need D'Antonio White to stand there and shooting guard. And there's White with another 3. So D'Antonio White with 5 points. And then Syracuse gets it back inside. Bowler throws down the big dunk. 13-12 Louisville. Gave the ball away. Syracuse coming down. Phillips to the basket. Missed the open shot on the inside. Marshall shoots. Can't get it to fall, but the foul is called on Bowler. So we need to go ahead and get Bobby Howard into the game for Carter, who needs a break. Map is close enough. He's back in at the point. White at the 2. We just put Porter in at the 3. We put Howard in at the 3. We do have 3 good small forwards in Porter, Howard, and White, but we're playing them all right now. So once Carter can come back in at the power forward, put Howard down and get Porter a rest. All right, so Marshall misses both free throws. That's not any help. killing us on these rebounds. We knock it out of bounds again. We got to get the rebound, guys. Alright, so Bowler's killing us on the inside, certainly. Missed there, we knock it out of bounds, and immediate timeout. There we go, Chris Marshall stole it, pushes it up to Bobby Howard, and the jam gets Louisville back in front. And then the referee is warning Howard. Okay. Syracuse misses the long one. Another rebound. We get the second one. Let's get Hampton back into the game. Still 15-14, halfway through the first half now. So Hampton misses the shot but gets fouled. He'll be headed to the line. Misses the first, hits the second. 16-14 Louisville. Phillips misses the long one. They get another offensive rebound. They're absolutely destroying us with the offensive rebounds. They missed the free throw, so it's going to stay 16-16. And we throw the ball away again. 18-16. Throw it away again. I want Carter over here. All right, Hampton from the elbow gets fouled again. So Hampton definitely hurting them. We can't make free throws, and we're not rebounding the ball. And that's going to be some big time problems, but Syracuse turns it over. So tie game, 8.5 left in the first half. And there we go. Carter gets it in, gets an inside shot. Then we take the ball away from him, back to Carter. In again, 22-18. Louisville is up. Anderson throws it away, and we get another media timeout. So nice little segment there for Louisville. We're looking pretty solid. If I can go through the rest of the half without having to bring Steve Bond back in, I certainly will do that. But if this gets anywhere close, it's the final game. Bond might have to come back in. 21-22 now as Larkin hits a three. That was the ball away, and then Tom Anderson throws the ball away. So still tied, 7 minutes to go. Yeah, we definitely need to get a cushion. That's 100% correct. Hampton throws the pass away. So turnovers aren't really doing us any favors. There's another one. Bobby Howard grabs a rebound, and then White throws it. This is ridiculous. The turnovers are absurd. At least they're going both ways, though. Oh, my God. There we go. Carter got it. Hampton throws down and picks up the foul there. All right, so we are definitely tired. Porter's coming in for Howard. We will bring Chris Marshall in for Hampton if he can hit the free throw. We need somebody that can play the guard for a minute. Let's bring in Greenleaf, and we'll put him out here. Oh, and we get the offensive rebound. So we're up by 3 with the ball, get it into the middle of the floor, and then we throw it away. Oh, no, it got blocked out there. Yeah, the plays are on the post. I'm not doing anything really except for the rotation. Oh, we missed the long one there. John Carter, the power forward, trying to hit threes. And Syracuse pulls back within one. And the referees have been warning Hampton the entire game. Hampton misses it, it's going away. Call a quick 30-second timeout there. We got to get Hampton off the court. So we're going to bring Marshall back in. Porter's already in. Map. All right. Hopefully this lineup can get us through the rest of the first half. So Map over to Carter, back out to Map. To the baseline, can't hit. Syracuse pulls a rebound. See, Syracuse looks much better on rebounds. They're killing us there. Larkin shoots, Map fouls him. Misses the first, hits the second. Tie game at 24. Map tries the three, can't hit it. Syracuse ball with a chance to take the lead here with 2 minutes left in the first half. Anderson misses. Porter with the rebound. Then we throw it away. Bowler, again, just absolutely killing us. Porter's having a nice game rebounding-wise. And Marshall is called for a foul. So just looking through the performances here, I mean, Porter's really the only standout for us with the 7 rebounds and the 3 blocks. He's playing a good game. All right, so Syracuse knocks down 2 free throws to take the lead. 1 minute left in the half. We give it away again. Map steals it. 30 seconds left in the half. Marshall too strong. Syracuse rebound. 20 seconds. Map steals it. 10 seconds. Can we get a last shot? Where's the last shot button? I don't see it. Oh! Chris Marshall, the center, hits a 3 at the end of the half for Louisville. And we pull back into the lead. It's just 1 point, but, you know, it's better than nothing. Hampton doing well, but Chris Marshall with the huge shot right at the end of the half. And we're going to go in. Louisville up 27-26 in the national championship game. So let's take a quick look here. Louisville slightly winning points in the paint. Syracuse better on second chance points. Louisville ahead on fast break points. Rebounding wise, let's see here. 16-27. So we're getting, oh, hold on. Is that the right column? 16-27. So Syracuse is destroying us on the rebounding. Brett Porter has been our best rebounder so far in the game. He hasn't scored, but we're going to need Porter to be on the floor if we're going to have a chance on the rebounding battle. Hopefully we can maybe we can squeeze a little bit more time out of Hampton in the second half. We'll get Steve Bond back out on the floor. Hopefully that'll make some difference. But, really tight first half. Losing the offensive rebounding as badly as we are. Kind of shocked that we're still in it. Porter, Carter, and Hampton. All right, but here comes our second half, guys, for the national championship. Everything on the line here in Atlanta. I hate to just to remind. Oh, there we go. Bowler picks up his 3rd foul early in the half, 30 seconds in, so that's a good sign. Also, just want to point out, when Louisville won the championship in 2013, it was in Atlanta, so there's that. Matt to the basket and slams it home. Matt is playing well, and there's the steal, and Brett Porter throws it down. So early on, Bullard picks up a foul. Louisville pulls out to their biggest lead of the game, 31-26. Syracuse drives the lane. Matt picks up his second foul, and they'll be headed to the line. Pull it back down to 3 points, and they're putting on the full court pressure. Bond, back down to Carter. Over to Porter, Carter. I think that's Hampton to the... I tried to get it going again. Let's see. I'm trying to get it restarted. I don't know if I'm live or not. It says I'm live. Check chat. Somebody let me know if you can hear me and you can see this. Somebody let me know in chat so I can get going again. All right, we're back. All right, so we got a handful saying we're back. I'm going to assume we're good to go. 34-33, just into the second half, Syracuse ball. Hampton already getting a little bit tired. Okay. We need a big half out of Hampton. All right, so he missed it. Out of bounds. Our ball. Need to kick by the defense. Dead ball. We need to make a little bit of hay here while their big man's out. Back down inside to Carter. Hampton to Porter. Porter with the shot. Nice one. It was only a 2, but we'll take the lead. Yeah, Chris, apparently the stream died, so I had to stop and restart. And there's Syracuse pulling back out in front by 1. And third foul on Thomas. All right. So a couple of their players with 3 fouls. We've still got Bond out, and there was Hampton taking back the lead for the Cardinals. Guys, this is the national championship, a 1-point game. Sorry, Chris. Oh, we stole it. Yeah, I don't know how the stream died. I had no indication on my end. It was just chat said it was dead, so I stopped and restarted. And now Syracuse turn it over. Oh, it's the turnover game again. Over to Porter. And foul on Syracuse. They're bringing Bullard back in. All right. So we're still doing all right. Let's get Hampton. Should we get him a little rest now? Let's play him a couple more minutes. He's not in foul trouble. Map's got 2. Yeah, let's... what we can do, actually, is bring Bond back in. All right, so we bring Steve Bond back in. See if he can free Map up a little bit. And Map just gives it away for the easy 2 on the other end. 38-37, 13 minutes to go. Porter with the long one. Louisville in front by 2, 40-38. It's getting serious now, guys. I'd hoped early that, maybe we'd pull away, but it is not happening. This is going to come down to the wire. Bullard jams it in. So, tie game with 13 minutes to play. Hampton misses. Oh, and we get the 4th foul on Jason Bullard. So, we left Hampton in there for a couple extra minutes. It paid off with the 4th foul. Does not pay off at the line, but Carter grabs the rebound. Of course, we give it away, and it's a jam on the other end. We'll go work the referees a little bit here. There was too many times in a row I saw our players being ignored by the ref, and there it is again. Of course, they warned me when I said anything about it. Inside, he looks open. Dude, got to take that to the basket. See if Bond can do anything. Over to Porter. Porter misses the shot, but we get the foul call. Now, we definitely need to get Hampton out. Let's bring in White for Porter. Let's bring in Howard for Carter. Oh, Porter's at the line. All right. Yeah, Buller might be key. The 4 fouls is huge. All right, so Porter ties it back up. Now we can get him out. Antonio White. All right, get Porter and Hampton a little bit of rest here. We really need to find a way to get Matt some rest. So there's a defensive foul on Louisville. Phillips hits 1 at the line, 43-42 Syracuse. Bond misses the 3, and Syracuse grabs the ball. Gave it away to Mapp. He takes it the other way, over to Bobby Howard, and Howard turns it. He just can't avoid stupid turnovers, stupid fouls. Oh, and there's traveling on Syracuse. It's definitely changed the dynamic as far as rebounding goes. That's for certain. Give it away again. Turnovers, steals, they're just killing us. D'Antonio White called for his second foul. Let's see if we can't get Mapp a couple of minutes here. I think what we'll do is bring Porter in for a second and move White over here. We can give Porter a little bit more rest at like the 7-8 minute mark, somewhere in there. Pass deflected out of bounds, so still a 1-point game, 10 minutes to go. Syracuse ball. They miss and get the offensive rebound, so that flares up for us again. Defensive foul. Bobby Howard committed that one. Can't convert at the line. We pull the rebound inside to Howard, over to Marshall. Looks like Syracuse running a little bit of a zone here. Back over to Howard. Back to Marshall. And the 4th foul on Thomas. So, 4 fouls. Syracuse got a couple of guys now in foul trouble. Louisville is avoiding it so far, but we're still down 1 with 9 minutes to play. Marshall over to Bond. Back to Marshall. Inside to Howard. Just throwing it around. We got to take care of the ball. Oh, so White can't hit the long one. Syracuse pulls it in, and Syracuse gives it away. Under 9 minutes to play. We definitely need to bring John Carter back in. Let's let a couple of these other guys rest for another minute. All right. D'Antonio White puts us back in the lead from the free throw line. 44-43, 8.5 minutes to play. The steal, taking it the other way. Marshall with the ball, down to Brett Porter, back to Marshall, out to Carter, and then they give it away and slam it home on the other end. Syracuse takes the lead. Yeah, sometimes they look open in the 2D, but with the zone, I think it's because they're in a zone. Or they're switching in and out of the zone. I don't know why Marshall's handing the ball out there. A miss, Syracuse grabs it, deflected out of bounds, media timeout. Let's get these starters going, baby. Hampton's ready to play for the rest of the game. Carter already in. Brett Porter might need one more little break. Bond is fine. Mapp is back in. We're going to let this roll for a minute. We might need to get Porter a little bit of time. Otherwise, there's Carter with the steal coming the other way. Hampton misses the shot but gets fouled, so he's going to head to the line. 45-44. He misses. 1. Tie ball game at 45. What a defensive battle this is. 45-45. 6:45 left in the game. Misses the 3. Mapp with the rebound. Going the other way. Bond throws it away. And Syracuse slams it home to take the 2-point lead with 6 minutes left. Bond to Porter. He misses the long one. Syracuse rebound. They're ignoring Hampton again. How many times have they ignored us? And Syracuse hits the 3. So now Syracuse with their biggest lead of the game at 5. Hampton misses the shot, but he's going to be headed to the line. Knocks them both down. Back to a 3-point game for Syracuse. 5.5. Gives it away. Louisville. Matt for 3. Can't hit it. Syracuse grabs it. Larkin hits the shot and gets fouled. Fouled by Porter there. All right. Porter, we definitely want to give him a little bit of a rest there. Bond is just going to have to play, I think. All right, so 6-point lead for Syracuse now. 5 minutes. Hampton knocks down the shot. Ooh, I'm wringing my hands down here, guys. Louisville takes it. Louisville throws it down to a 2-point game. 4.5 minutes. Miss the 3, get the rebound, and the putback. Larkin puts Syracuse back up by 4. Pass deflected out of bounds. Hampton drives to the basket and ran to the elbow and he threw it away. So there's Syracuse back up by 6. It's not looking good for the good guys right now. Carter tries a 3, can't hit. Misses on the inside. Carter gets called for the foul. So 6 minutes left. 3-point game. What we're gonna do is make a real quick change there. We'll let Porter hang out for another minute, but we're gonna get some. Let's see here. We're gonna pick up some full court defense here and move the defensive intensity up. All right, so 7-point lead for Syracuse. 3 minutes to go. 8-point lead. Syracuse is pressing us. What was that? Why are they pressing with 8 minutes to go? Oh, Carter hit the shot and he gets fouled. Misses, we get the rebound. It's a chance to get back in it. And no, we miss. Phillips gets the rebound. Oh, come on, guys. 2 minutes to go. Missed. Rebound, Syracuse. Buller missed, but got fouled. This is the first free throw. Carter's in. Map is in. Bond is back in. 60-53. 2 minutes to go. Inside to Carter. Hampton misses it, but he got fouled. Buller's gone. That's his 5th. Missed the free throw, so we're still down 6. A minute and a half to go. It's getting ugly now. Shoot some threes. Oh, we just took it. Get inside and score. No, he gave it away. All right, we're going to try to shoot some threes. Maybe we could try to rebound. How about that? Good Lord. Let's see if we've got any shooters over here on the bench. Greenleaf is a shooter, as is Brian Shelton. I don't know that I trust Shelton, but Greenleaf can't really score, though, is his problem. Antonio White, not really a great shooter. Howard would be a little bit better than Carter, and it gives Carter the rest. Maybe we'll run it like that. I don't know. It's not looking good either way. We're down by 8 with 50 seconds left. Too many misses from downtown, too many turnovers. Too many offensive rebounds for Syracuse. Nobody could really score outside of Hampton. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And that's it. We're going to flame out in the championship game. Couldn't make it. 10-point game within 30 seconds. Howard can't hit. So we kept it close in the first half, and we were actually winning at the half. And then in the second half, all their starters go out with foul trouble, and we just give the game away. No idea what happened there. All right, 66-54. We get blown out in the second half. Look at the rebounds. 15 rebound margin for them. We shot 30% for the game. That's amazing. Shot 50% from the free throw line. 3 of 20 from 3. We just couldn't score. So, that's all she wrote. Where is the exit button? I don't even know how to exit this screen. Oh, I hit press play. There we go. All right, well, sounds about right. You know, Hampton was the only one that could score. This is definitely the game where we missed Hendrick the most. Nobody else could get anything going. And we fall to Syracuse. We won the first half, and we lost the second half by 13. So that was an ugly one, folks. We made it to the championship game and couldn't finish it off. It's disappointing, certainly. Check out the awards. So Phillips, the most outstanding player, and the freshman of the year. First team All-American. In the ACC, we got the coach of the year. Chris Phillips and Jason Bowler took everything else. First team, Syracuse, and Larry Hendrick, who tore his knee tendon. So, if you're wondering why we beat them in the ACC championship game and couldn't get it done there, there's a hint. Second teamers, Carter, Hampton, and Mapp. All right. Yeah, a little bit salty, Chris. That's right. A little bit salty. It sucks. It sucks. Because not only do we lose Hendrick for this year, but we probably lose him for next year too. And then he goes pro. So, I mean, we got nothing there. We lose our inside game. So, everything about that sucked. Failed over here. Took the prestige up to 95. All right. Check out who's hiring. Yeah, the injury to Hendrick was absolutely huge. What is this? How's UAB 4.5-star prestige? Interesting. Let's see who else is hiring. Miami. Murray State out of the Ohio Valley. Oklahoma State. St. Mary's in San Francisco on probation. Stanford and VCU looking for coaches. Interesting slate of openings there. Usually I would like to get through the off-season. 165 days on him. It's about, that's less than 6 months. He could be back next season. He'll be back next season. I would usually like to get through the off-season, guys, but I might have to do that off-stream here. We've been live for quite a while, and the family's going insane upstairs. So, man, I sure would trade this 15-point win for this one. Oh, that was a wrong game again. Just out of curiosity, what was different about this one? Yeah. Well, it was actually Bond and Map. I forgot we were already missing Hendrick at that point, and we still beat him by 15. So, must have just been my bad rotation in the championship game. All right, we're going to save it there and be done with this stream. Guys, thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll try to get you back. I'll try to get some more streams up and going before College Basketball 21 comes out. See if we can win that title. Or maybe it's just something we'll have to save until the next year's version. But either way, I had a great Saturday. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I'm going to cut it out here. I'll see all you guys next time.